Alright. Let's play some more Encased. So she said we had to go talk to these guys. I think, we gotta train and do some other stuff.
Did you mark it as class 1 again instead of 2? Look, here's the scanner data. It says the relic.
What's that thing? Generator card.
I'll complain to the Silvers
Moving
about
between
that.
locations.
They'll take the appropriate measures. I hate those orders. The hell do they break locks for?
Ooh. So, I'll take all that. That's a bit. I don't want to sit.
The smell of good tobacco wafts off this tall, portly woman from a meter away. A black lacquered pipe, an open logbook full of signatures, and a metal flip calendar sit on the counter in front of her. A small nameplate reads, Margarita Tkachenko. The woman fixes her coppery hair with one hand and casually lights her pipe.
To what do I owe the pleasure?
Her voice, Margarita thumbs back a couple of pages in her logbook.
I see. This was your first receipt.
She glances at her Kairos, looks at you, snorts, and retreats to the shelves. Tkachenko returns a couple of minutes later, carrying a device looking like an industrial-sized pneumatic staple gun. She looks at the thing in her hands, and then at you, enjoying your reaction.
This here's called the Kraut. It's a pneumatic gun for staples and nails. It's not technically a weapon, but when has that ever bothered you oranges?
That's funny.
It's obvious this isn't Tkachenko's first time demonstrating the Kraut. She retracts the attached blade and shows you how air is forced into the cylinder to create pressure for shooting. When she's finished, she sets the weapon on the counter in front of you.
Step the firearm and barrel and aim it downwards like you were trained. I had that grab up and sling it. I don't want to be cocky just yet.
Margarita drags on her pipe and releases a puff of thick yellow smoke.
I see you know the rules and won't cause problems.
Yeah, that's me. I don't cause no problems.
Tkachenko takes a leisurely draw on her pipe.
If you ask me, there are tons of pluses. You won't accidentally kill anyone, and the Kraut doesn't need cartridges. Very practical.
The black is taken aback by your question. She spreads her hands, never letting go of her pipe. The armorer shrugs, puffing indifferently on her pipe.
It's the least I could do. We have a requisition list from the Silvers. For free, you receive only rubbish. If you want the real deal, check out the weaponry shop. Or me. Sign your name in the meantime. And one last thing.
Margarita points at the nail gun and hands you a few cylinders.
You can load it with more than just nails. Pebbles, glass, screws, coins. You can basically scavenge your own ammo. Though additional cylinders are only issued with a signature that you'll never get from those bloody bureaucrats. So if you need more, you'd better find or barter for them. Or craft them on your own. A useful skill. You'll see.
Should have went melee so I could shank somebody's ass.
Leaning over the counter, the black points somewhere off to one side.
Now it's time for your training. Fatherby is already waiting for you by the big gate. He's a bit dotty, but a good man nonetheless. But before the training zone, go see that wizard guy with his toothpicks. Be careful around him, though. Don't let him pitch you a line. Psychic my ass.
She winces.
That's pretty funny.
Tkachenko grunts a greeting without removing the pipe from her mouth.
Just tell me what you want so we can dispense with all the how are yous and phony smiles your lot so...
The black takes a drag on her pipe.
Alright. I'm gonna go talk to this punk. Ooh, a locker. Oh, it's empty.
A lean silver with thick black hair and a huge cigar clamped in his teeth is sitting in front of you. As you approach, he flashes a sly grin and slowly raises an outstretched hand above the table. Something really weird happens. All the paper clips, pencils, scattered toothpicks, and bits of trash float up from the table and hang in the air. The silver badge reading Andre Mihai, Sci Instructor, floats up as well.
Fairy magic.
Here for the briefing, huh? Shall we get to it?
He takes the cigar out of his mouth and exhales a lush cloud of smoke.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeited.
The silver props his elbows on the table.
Anyway, here's the deal. It's more profitable for people with a high psyche to study psionics. Give me your hand.
Not waiting for an answer, he grabs your hand with strong, dark fingers. Andre gropes your hand briefly, then lets go, disappointed.
The pills, huh? The anti-migraine, sleeping pills, neuroleptics, downers. What do you mean you don't take them? Well, off you go then. That means no talent, huh? Why waste time? No wasting time now. But alas, regulations demand it, so I'll give you a glove too. Regulations, huh?
The silver takes a thin glove covered in talc from his desk and passes it to you.
Look, a glove, right? But it isn't just a glove. This is an ooh mama hold me tight glove. It takes energy from your noggin, your psyche, and pew concentrates it.
He counts off on his fingers.
Learn psionics. Put on the glove. Transform energy into the necessary shape. That's the whole briefing. Simple? Simple. Now to your questions, huh?
Ask him to show you a trick. I'm gonna murder your psychics.
World, a better place.
Look at this place, bro.
What an inhospitable wilderness,
Shooting
you'll
range.
say.
The shooting range.
I'll complain to the super.
As you reach to open the sliding door, an engineer in a bright blue jacket stops you.
Hold on there, Chief. It's out of order. See? Tell your orange crony I'm gonna stick this chewing gum where the sun don't shine. Just arrived and he's already damaging property. Mind you, he fucked you over as well. You'll have to wait until I get this sorted out. If you ask me, they're too gracious about those guys over on Crystal Sands.
The technician points angrily at the lock on the door. His badge reads, Maxim Penkovsky, technician. Penkovsky grunts angrily.
I wish I could. I'm gonna have to disassemble, clean, and reassemble it to get it working. It's work I don't need, and all thanks to some idiot.
Maxime extracts a thin, sharp, precision probe from behind his ear and dangles it in front of you.
As an orange, I'm sure you know what this is. But in case you don't, I can teach you to pick locks. It's a useful skill. You'll see.
He looks at you expectantly. The blue's getting excited.
All right, looky here.
Penkovsky presses his pick lock, and an odd device resembling a hybrid of a screwdriver and a can opener into your hand.
Using a mechanical pick lock is easy peasy. No special skill required. They wear out after a few locks. While the old-fashioned kind is another thing entirely. Cheap, one use. But one has to know how to use it right. That's a tool for a master.
Maxime takes out another pick lock and crouches by the door. He gives you a quick lesson on how to pick a lock.
By the way, you can carry your tools in your belt. It's much handier to have them right there.
Penkovsky shows you his utility belt, where he keeps all kinds of tools and gadgets.
Actually, finding tools under the dome is no problem at all. There are even devices for hacking terminals and so on.
Maxime hoists up his belt. The blue solemnly raises his index finger.
And one more thing. Always use brand name stuff if you can. Groovy produces good kits. Modus and Supercolor do too. They've all got fat contracts with Cronus, so they care about quality.
He looks at the door again.
Damn these locks. Though I'd rather be doing this than fixing hab pods. Those are a real pain in the ass.
Penkovsky gives you a patronizing look.
Because they're poorly made. Warped from the heat, and the filters aren't worth a damn. The modules were constructed by marketing managers, not engineers. Building a city in the desert was also their idea. This project is all about PR. Cronus wants to show the world how tough they are. I repeat, get a lockpick and attach it to your utility belt. And then, apply it to the door. Yes, apply is the proper word.
Apply. That's a side glove. Oh, look, I've got to put my armor on. And my nail gun, that's so funny, dude. I'm trying to lockpick.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
Where's my utility belt? Ah.
You're doing great. All right, off you go. I'll keep working on this lock because of that orange. Hey-oh.
Welcome under the dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet. Howdy.
Give me 5 minutes of your precious time and I'll teach you about their local. Freaking oof.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
If you were honestly interested in the speech, maybe you'd like to look through the leaflet, The Dome as Your New Home, an exciting read for the entire family. Orange Wing, tell her the dome isn't a home, but a prison. The leaflet. Ah.
Have a good one.
Ah.
I don't know about you, but I'm sure I'll come here and... Queen. This is Victoria LeGrand, and the dome from the inside. I'll see you next time.
Wait, energy gear? I don't take all that shit. But, the turret. Ugh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the dome from the inside with me, Victoria LeGrand. As you can see, there are endless
Door training
in
ground?
Western UK.
Attention, attention.
Speak quickly.
I wonder if you're training it without my say so, and I don't say so. Come here, employee.
Bye-bye.
Sipping a margarita right on this
A middle-aged black is sitting behind the counter with his hands in his lap. The buttons and zippers on his uniform are polished to a shine, and even his badge, Winston Botherby, Instructor, has been buffed so much it hurts to look at it. Botherby frowns as you approach.
Your first act is being late for the briefing. You going to be late for your funeral as well?
The black looks you over.
Yes, I see the weapon receipt checkmark. Looks like you are fully prepared to disappoint me. You are prepared, right, employee?
Tell him you're against violence. Say you're prepared.
Botherby leans over the counter and directs you to the doors.
Behind this door is a combat simulation computer. Launch it and begin your course.
He raises his index finger.
The conditions in the training zone closely simulate those one would experience in the field. Your goal is to avoid getting lost and dying of dehydration. And try to aim the barrel away from yourself when shooting.
Pulling a notepad from his pocket, the instructor jots down your name.
Your goal is to hit 3 targets. I'm going to monitor you and advise as necessary. And try not to burst into tears. That's all.
Enter Alpha Squad hologram. See the training zone. Oh lord, turn-based combat. See. Really? Critical damage?
Thrilling news. You aren't completely hopeless. Well?
Can you put the weapon away first? Not hide your weapon? You can attack.
Botherby nods grandly.
You made it through training without making a total fool of yourself. Congratulations. I'll send a report up the chain about your completely unanticipated success. You're dismissed, employee.
Wow.
Winston's leather boots creak rhythmically as he...
Interesting, alright.
Welcome under the dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is
Listen to this
the dome
information
from
useful
the
for all wings
inside.
technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization. Listen to this information, useful for all
Sounds
things,
like a sci-fi
and
story.
play.
But we aren't strangers to sci-fi here. The detailed plans are ready.
That's Sebastian Van Olden.
You see a tall scientist in a white lab coat, bathed in the dim lamplight. He almost appears to be hovering above the laboratory floor. The man turns at your footsteps. He's holding a paper clipboard and a pencil. His shimmering silver badge he glances from you to the glittering watch on his wrist.
I want us to respect one another's time.
looks like
Please
a
speak
smug
loudly, clearly, and to the point. You must be the newcomer I was told about. Nice to meet you.
Finished with his unusual greeting, he offers you his thin hand.
In case of damage, your life will be
The scientist puts the clipboard aside, raises his watch for a closer look, and sets the timer. He shows you his watch dial.
According to the rules of this briefing, I have to touch on a large number of topics. Therefore, I will do so very briefly. Do not interrupt me. When I'm finished, I'll answer your questions. Within regulations, of course.
Sebastian produces his handheld and clicks some buttons.
I checked your scanner. It's working and is connected to the Minerva database. Everything you scan will earn you Kronos or Forefathers knowledge points.
The instructor watches you with displeasure.
Are you listening? Scan everything that might be of scientific interest. First of all, anomalies. They could be dangerous. Make sure to always have medication with you.
He places a canvas pouch in your hand.
This pouch is full of bolts. You can temporarily discharge an anomaly by throwing a bolt into it. It's primitive, but reliable.
Oh, boo, that's bolts and anomalies. That's Stalker, man. I just got finished playing Stalker. That was definitely influenced by Stalker.
Van Olden pushes a button on his stopwatch.
So, my oral briefing fell within the allotted span of time. Any questions you want to ask me?
The White scowls in annoyance.
Do you know anything at all? What did you come under the dome for anyway? You get knowledge points for scanning objects. For scanning anomalies and relics, you receive Forefather points. Scanning the company's property and employees, living or dead, earns you Kronos knowledge points.
He explains with a sagacious expression.
You can exchange knowledge points for medication and equipment as part of the volunteer research program. Are you ready for the next part? The clock is...
The researcher winces.
Why do I have to spell out every single thing for you? Take a bolt, throw it at the anomaly, and it goes off. Any more questions?
The scientist glances at his watch again.
You're within the time limit for questions. The next step is training in the artificial ecozone.
He rests one finger on the button in preparation to start the timer.
You're going to go downstairs and scan relics. I will be monitoring your progress. Please note there are several radioactive anomalies in the ecozone. These are the same conditions you'll be working in the field. Radioactive zones and relics are quite common under the dome.
He smoothly extracts a jar of yellow pills from his pocket.
Here's your Arad 3. And one more thing. Just a moment.
Casinos, spas, and therapeutic saunas. I don't know about you, but I'm sure I'll come here in a year.
Guess I'm
For all
supposed to go.
wings and receive a colorful.
How do I get in there?
And the dome from the inside. See you next time.
Oh, it's
Welcome
this
under the
way.
dome, an amazing excursion to a world of new technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization.
Please stand by for decontamination to end.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the dome from the inside. With me, Victoria LeGrand.
Van Olden gestures back at the ecozone.
You haven't completed scanning everything yet.
And the air is as dry as a nun's gusset.
Oh, bolts.
What an inhospitable
How do you, is there no way to? Oh, I see.
And I fully agree with you.
And one and two.
I told you that in a year you'll be lying by a swimming pool,
Welcome under the
sipping a
dome.
margarita right on.
Attention, attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage, your life will be taken.
Careful around the anomalies. Touch one of them and you'll be injured. Don't touch the relics with your hands, employee. Use your scanner. Radiation sickness will not add to your knowledge.
The scanner? Scanner. Right. Scan. Ah, okay.
Journal entry. Successful scanning attempt. You're doing all right so far. Go ahead. Keep an eye on you and make sure you don't screw up.
A better place. World, a better place.
Journal entry. 2 objects scanned. And again, watch out for anomalies. Touch one and you'll be injured. Toss a bolt at the anomaly and charge it.
In case of damage, your life will be forfeit.
What happened? Alright, gotta go.
Casinos, spas, and therapeutic centers. I don't
Shovel required.
from the inside.
What if I don't have a shovel?
See you next.
Our honest work will make the world a better place. World, a better place.
Journal entry. All 3 objects have been successfully scanned. Come upstairs, employee.
There's a secret down there. We'll get a shovel, but I didn't have a shovel. Where do I get a shovel?
Sounds like a sci-fi
I'll
story.
run into a shovel and come back.
Beyond strange the sci-fi here, with detailed.
Sebastian meets you on the platform.
Your finishing time is within the acceptable range.
He clicks the stopwatch button, fixing the result time. The scientist turns back to his notes.
Not bad. One question. You observed several anomalies while scanning. Why do you think they appeared? I'd like to hear your opinion.
The scientist assumes a superior expression.
I knew you'd come up with something like that. I see you understand nothing about the nature of anomalies. So let me add a couple of points.
He glances at the shimmering blue light in the eco zone.
The truth is, we don't know the precise reason for these phenomenon either. We actually know nothing, no matter how much we try to convince ourselves otherwise.
Sebastian points a thin finger at the clustered lightning.
I personally believe that the anomalies are the dome's security mechanism. The ones you saw are relatively harmless, but there are different anomalies in the desert, phenomenon that toy with the human mind.
Van Olden clasps his hands behind his back.
I know you don't care, but I'll say it anyway. Scientists today are required to be wonder workers who can heal cancer with a wave of their hand and solve the secrets of the universe during their coffee break. For some reason, no one wants to understand that fundamental science is always an investment in the future. It produces no answers here and now.
The White's gaze strays back to his clipboard.
If something terrible happens under the dome one day, and I'm sure it will, science will protect no one. That is all. Off you go.
Please stand by for decontamination to end.
This is the dome from the
An
inside.
amazing excursion
Well, we got
to the world
radiation,
of
so-
technology and the riddles of an ancient civilization.
Attention. Please handle relics carefully. In case of damage,
Red force.
will be forfeit.
I don't think I got enough radiation to be sick, huh? I don't think don't look sick.
As you can see, there are endless.
Listen to this information, useful for all wings, and receive a colorful leaflet.
Let's save it.